Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the final hour. Okay, so
I want to just play a Krogan next season. Just be like, Chunka.
Oh god, you gotta do like a Krogan like rapper too. You know what I mean? Like,
Chunka.
I honestly have nothing to work off of that.
No, I'm not even gonna try.
Just leave it alone. Okay, so like there's a Krogan that's really into American hip hop. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm really into this. But like,
there's at least some Krogan
like early
in Shakespeare,
90s.
right? I can do that. I can be the Krogan Shakespeare.
Oh, come on. No, early 90s hip hop Krogan. You know what I mean? They'd be like,
it took a long time for the
shadow of dead. You know. All right, moving on. So we
Alas, poor Solarian. I squished him well.
All I need from you, Erin, is for you to roll me dice because you weren't doing any big RP things. You were actually doing checks to fix things. Yep. So the first thing you wanted to fix was the weapon. So roll me an electronics check, please.
Weapon.
Okay.
And you get a +1 because you do modifications.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are in that first week able to get everything with all the scrap and whatnot they have, use a portion of the scrap. You're able to get the weapon up and working and so on and so forth. This actually works out pretty well. This is a decent weapon here. This actually works kind of like a... I'll have to choose it because the funny thing about the weapon that you're installing here that's designed to literally be like hung up as like a door thing, it's actually about the same size as the one that Frank's character, the Krogan, is like carrying around. They're actually very, very similar, but one of them's, you know, human make and one of them's Krogan make, right? Okay, and so actually that first week you were very successful and you were able to finish putting it together with the parts that you have. Roll for fixing Rick's armor. Future armor. Please and thank you. Okay, so finally she makes a good amount of progress on the armor, and she's actually able to get the suit like up and running, put all the durotanium plates all back to where they need to be, flush out all the power cells, replace a bunch of wires. She's actually able to get the thing fully back intact. Now there's 2 more checks that you're allowed to make at this point. One, you can make a check, and if you're successful, you can actually make it so it doesn't look like it's been beat up and put back together. You can actually have it so like it looks good instead of just functioning. And then the other one is to put the modification on there that you wanted to do. Which one would you like to make?
The modification.
Okay, go right ahead.
Yeah, I figured instead of removing the modification for my old suit, I'll just put a new one on there. It's fine. We can afford to pay it.
It's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah, well, at least I'll have a like slightly better AC backup suit then. If
Yeah,
stuff
because
goes wrong.
the explanation for like the modification thing isn't that it's like a who's it's that you shove on there. It's that you're making it perfectly designed for your body.
Yep. Well, the other one was more or less she was taking the parts out of to right? Okay, so the modification's on there. Awesome. Now that actually you still have time left for one more check. You can either switch to a different project or you can be nice.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. My fixed skill is treated as 1 higher as well, so that's +1 for that, for maintaining mods and
11.
building them.
Gorgeous. Yep. Thank you. And then you can, with your last week, either move on to a different project or finish fixing the suit to make it look nice as well.
Oh, I don't care if it looks nice.
Okay, sure. So it has like some beat up armor? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, Andre might have a problem with that. She'd be like, it's fine, it works.
Oh, I would just know that he wants it to look good.
I feel like that would be a conversation. Like,
yeah.
Really, Winnie? Like, you couldn't, like...
Cattle would also definitely be like, you know...
The intent of Cattle's Oma is that it blends in plain sight.
But it works just fine for what he wants it to do. Like, look, see?
The ship works just fine for what he wants it to do, and yet he's not happy with that.
Ignore the solder, ignore the tape. Like, it's fine.
I'll try and pretty it up.
At this point.
I'll try and pretty it up with that last week then.
Sure.
I just look at it, it's like, does it work now?
It works.
I just look at it and be like, yeah, it works. It just, I just look at her in the eyes, like eye contact, like, you know, that's gonna make it a bit hard to try and, you know, get proper work for all of us and earn money, it's not gonna make a good first impression.
Fine.
I have my natural charisma, but
I can make it look pretty for
You
you.
can maybe put away my
I
Or
would appreciate.
I can make this gun look pretty and put it on the outside of the ship.
Yeah, but
And
we're gonna
Atari
take
can
that
put glitter.
sign off
Atari can put glitter on it. It's fine.
once we get another ship.
I don't know much about soldering, but I sure do have a lot of paint left over from the ship.
There you go. See? Fine.
You can match. You can match your
Nah,
ship.
you'll know it's your ship. It's metallic red paint. You'll look great. Because if you say
I
no,
can
that's
make
what's
it look
happening,
pretty.
Cattle. I'm saying sorry.
No, that would not really help with blending in a crowd. I appreciate the gesture, but
Going to Omega, I could put the gun on the ship.
I think having my armor not look like crap on Omega might also be a very good thing. It
No,
might
it looks
put a
like you
target.
blend in perfectly on Omega with this.
I think it looks fine.
You'll be
Fine.
the height of fashion on
Fine.
Omega.
You don't like it? Make it better.
Krax is kind of just like looking at his armor now, being like, "Yeah, I could use an upgrade."
Speaking of, if we're heading to Omega, I really think we should try and find at least some courier job for the Blue Suns while we're there. We could even get travelers. They need.
I don't know.
I'm supposed to
Do
be
we
doing
wanna go to
data
Omega?
science,
We're
but
not
apparently
gonna buy a
it's
new ship?
ahead of month now.
If our ship is fine the way it is, do we really want to go to Omega?
No, but they want to go to Omega to buy a new ship either way. Going to do a useless job, we might as well get some money while we're doing it and make
Position.
friends with the Suns.
Yeah, Krax will just pipe up on that and be like, "Oh no, we'll get a new ship when we can afford the new ship, and then some."
Our ship is fine. We can spend
For
money on
now.
it. They can get
To
better.
purchase it immediately, but
And
stopping
he
by Omega at
agrees
some
with,
point to put out some feelers is a good idea, in my opinion.
but yeah, he agrees on upgrading this ship until we can get a better ship.
If you want to go to Omega Cattle, I suggest we talk to the Blue Suns first. They must need all manner of people ferried to and fro. And I want... It'll be in our best interests to continue being friendly with them.
Fine.
I look
and
up and down for a second and just, do you really expect the Blue Suns, after what we've just done and gone through and our prior history with them, do you really expect them to just give us a passenger mission? Just be like,
Yes.
hey, could you take this guy over here?
Well, obviously, more likely the passenger would not be some traveling merchant. But yes, I imagine if we say we're on the way to Omega, they will give us something to do while we're there or on the way there. Which would be wise if you want to continue being in this business, Cadel Olan.
We could always put out some feelers with them.
Krax is like already writing up the email. It's like, "Hey, we're heading to Omega soon. If you need anybody,
Perhaps I
we will."
could talk to them, Cracks, instead.
Cracks, let me do it, please.
Krax sends it over to Ontario because she has first.
I
It's like he's already sorted over there.
I just get a forward change, like, oh, go.
Look at this cat. Fine. So I won't work on the pretty gun that I really wanted to work on. I'll work on these suits of armor instead, which already
Welcome.
work just fine as they are.
We've had this argument.
So I'm gonna continue working on the armor, Scott. Do you want me to make another check?
Please, one more.
You might
One
need to
for
do more
each
as well.
set of armor, or
Well, you're just doing cattle's first.
Gallus first?
Yep.
So it's a +2. One for being quarry and one for my fix skill. Just so you know. Or what are they called? The feats. What are the feats called?
Foci.
Yeah.
Okay, so you finish fixing Cattle's armor, and Cattle, just so you understand the way that this works, is because of the fact that you're dealing with super high quality armor from a well-renowned captain during a time of war versus the Krogan, which is just after Rachni War and whatnot. Because of all that, you actually have extremely good armor that you get to wear. So over on the light armor page, which I dropped into chat in case you hadn't seen it before, you were in low
I was
armor.
already there, yeah.
You were in low armor before. You actually have across the board high armor.
Ooh.
Your damage
that is-
resistance, Erin just finished fixing your damage threshold, which was actually very, very low. It's super fragile. It was going to break again. If she hadn't fixed that, I was going to roll 3d10, and that's how many points were left on it before it broke again. But across the board, you have 3 hard points, which literally you can throw a sniper rifle on there, which is 3, and that would take it. Or you can throw like, so 3 different weapons of your choice or whatever. So, you have 3 hard points, you have 3 light points, you have 30 shields. 30 shields. It's more than the Krogan. You have a huge.
I still would have gone
resistance.
down to that sniper shot. Actually, no. I think it would have been on like 1 HP.
No, you would have been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you actually would have lived. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's the thing Cattle cares about. Can he survive being sniped?
Yep.
I
So yeah, you're doing great with yours. Erin, what was the other suit of armor you wanted to work on?
Craxus.
And what did you want to do to Crax's armor?
I don't know. Whatever I can.
Put a bomb in it. It's fine.
Sure. You could
I
just
don't know what
repair.
modifications I can do to armor.
There's modifications, but you can also just repair it because right now everybody's damage threshold has been getting beat up.
Alright,
So
so I can do that. I would like to add a modification to it because my modification threshold is super high, and I'm nowhere even close to reaching it.
Krax doesn't have really a preference on what modifications, but he does want to upgrade it, basically.
Are you on that page, Erin, to see the modifications?
I'm not. I actually don't have the PDF saved on my computer. I don't know why.
Oh, that's fine.
If you can send me the book again.
Yeah, somebody throw it
my
into
fault.
Skype for her. Or actually, Erin, if you're in Skype, in the top of Skype, there's actually a little button that has everything that's been sent through that before, and you can usually find it in there, all the attached files up there.
I already attached it.
Or attach again.
That works too.
Cool.
Thank you.
So more or less what you can do is you can work on everybody's armor and get them all with that check. You can get everybody's armor back up to par if that's what you wanted to do, or you can make a separate check and put a modification. It's your call.
I'm not really worried about my armor. What about anti-raise? Is your armor beat up?
No, it's slightly damaged. But it's like got 3 missing on its DT. But how isn't it you need 2 armor skill to wear medium armor?
For your class, yes.
Yeah.
For a Krogan, for the fighter, they start with medium. They can eventually upgrade to heavy.
I'm fine with it. My armor's like ever so slightly damaged, but it's fine.
Awesome. Frank, you were asking me in chat about upgrading to medium armor, but as you can see, there.
Well, no, I am to high.
Heavy.
Oh, sorry, from low to heavy.
Not heavy.
Okay, but there are different categories. So there's 2, 4, 6 categories in there. Armor is not one of those things where it's just like you have low, medium, or high. It's low, medium, or high of the different categories.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Medium armor to low, medium, high. Because he's at low right now on his medium armor.
I think you misunderstand what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So right now you have low damage resistance, low damage threshold, low hard points, etc., etc. Do you want across the board high or individual categories brought up to high?
Oh, across the board high.
Okay, so that's actually extremely expensive for medium armor. You're looking at about 300,000 credits.
That's a lot.
Yep.
That's everything we just got.
For heavy armor, that's over 1 million credits.
Jesus, why is that so expensive?
Because it's rare and it's very powerful.
What about the medium?
To medium, that's gonna be way cheaper. It's gonna be about 100,000, 120,000, depending on a deal that you're gonna make with them.
It's almost cheaper just to get heavy armor. In that case, what?
You do realize that the person who's literally focused on like trading and whatnot has just been sitting here is like, Winnie's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a trade check, and like Crack's like, I'm gonna find some heavy armor. I'm just sitting here, is like, yeah.
Well, no, it's why I was saying he would want Winnie to work on that because she was already working on coddles.
So what I would probably do for Frank right off the bat is we can easily do like customized armor, which to give him a +1. That's cheap enough for me to do. It's only 500 credits.
Sure.
Okay.
Like half off. What I really want to do for Entree's armor is the polymorphic blending, because I think she would like that. That's a little more expensive. That'll cost me 2,500 credits.
And what effect does polymorphic blending have?
The armor can shift in appearance to that of normal clothing or different looking armor. Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
There you go.
And the armor functions and encumbers normally, regardless of external appearance. I think that would be really cool for her. So, I'd like to do those two things.
Absolutely, sure. You're not going to have enough time for the rest of the time of your Citadel to take care of that, but you can definitely do that during your travels to wherever it is that you're going. You don't need to finish it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have travel time. I figured I'd let you know what my plans are.
Yep, perfect. You can take care of it.
And we would need money from the ship fund for that, but we also have scrap, which I can probably use parts of. And...
The scrap is essentially money for all intents and purposes.
For more or less, the scrap is a $1-for-$1 value for Erin, but it's like a 1 for trade check dollar value for everybody else, more or less.
So I'd probably freely take from that unless I'm told not to, essentially.
Yeah, you can use the scrap. Just let me know, and I'll keep like count of it.
Cool.
Frank, do you try to buy the medium? Medium?
No, this is only if Winnie could upgrade it.
Winnie's going to upgrade medium light or medium. Your call.
That's up to you.
For how much for the medium?
I was saying it was 110,000.
100. That's way too much. How much for just upgrading the shields?
Sure. So just shields upgrade. Hold on 1 second. So that's just upgrading the shields will cost you 20,000 credits.
For the high or for the medium?
For the medium.
So that brings me up to 30 shields, but
you also
how
have
much for the high?
insane AC because Aaron's bringing your AC up to what? 20?
19.
19. So to go up to the high would be probably 100,000 credits just to go up to high shields.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the ship's quartermaster okay with Cracks taking not the 100,000, but for the medium, the 20?
If you like come up to me and make the argument, like Cattle would, Cattle's just sitting here. He's the face character, but nobody's like, oh yeah, no, I might be thinking about buying this. It's like,
well, no, it's literally Cracks is like, hey, Winnie, can you do this?
Yeah.
She can do it.
I can do it.
And he turns to Cattle and is like, hey, we need this money or we need these parts. Can you do anything about that?
I could reach out to some people. I'm glad you asked. That's
literally what Cracks was going to do.
Okay, so
it's
can
like,
I...
we have a face character who can make things cheaper.
I would like to make a trade check then to see if I can do anything with that.
Which one are you trying to purchase?
I think he's asking me for the medium shield. Medium shields.
Okay.
Medium shields.
So instead of 20,000 credits, you go up to the person, you make your argument, you haggle back and forth for a little while, and more or less, because you have a pretty damn good success down there, you're able to bring it from 20,000 credits down to 16,000 credits.
I'm fine with that.
And then we kill him.
Okay, awesome. So you drop it down to 16,000 credits, you pay it, Cracks' shields now go up to match his. Nobody else making any purchases or anything like that? Okay, then Rick, what I need you to do for me, this is the last thing on the Citadel before we finally take off and fly away.
I did want to check in with, contacts and, get a picture of, how the situation on the Citadel has changed while I'm, selling my information and whatnot.
Okay, so
basically basic outreach, getting a feeling of how the place looks now, where the power
will tell
is
you
located.
while you're doing this that nothing ever changes on the Citadel. That's why the Citadel is the best place in the galaxy.
You say
Occasionally a new race sidles in and brings all their vermin with them, but normally nothing ever changes.
You look at the surface picture, but our dear Volus acquaintance seems to...
I don't think that's going to be anything to worry about.
Let me do the worrying for you.
So,
Alright, dollface.
Sexism. Jesus.
I know. Jeez.
No, I'm the captain.
It's just racism, because I'm an Asari.
Yeah,
My
definitely.
gender is Asari. It's
Definitely.
Straight racism.
Definitely.
So, Rick, do me a favor. Roll me a trade intelligence check. This is for your selling.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get the money.
Now, I'm going to make you an offer here. You succeeded.
Can I refuse it? Or
Of course.
okay,
you do
good.
have
Just, yeah.
you do have underhanded secrets as well. You did the best you could, came up with contacts, and tried to make as much money as you could along the way. However, you do have secrets about this person over here, about that person over there, and you're able to kind of like procure who would like that information the most. There's selling information for profit, and then they're selling information for the most profit possible. You're welcome to sell slightly less legal information or slightly more devious information for an additional D6 onto this roll. And I don't mean to take away the lowest. I mean add it onto the roll.
No, I think I will stay above the table for the Citadel.
Sure. So you spend a month doing that, and you gather together 1,100 credits for the month that you spend selling information and whatnot, keeping yourself separated so you can't get in any danger along the way. Okay?
Yep.
Perfect. So makes up a little bit more of what Krax had spent. All right, everything is done here that needs to be done. Tremi finally comes back to you guys. And she's like, all right, well, if you're ready to head to, not aware of anything that's happened over the course of the past month. Oh, you're still here, still docked here. That's good. If you're ready to head back to the... Oh, don't forget to pay her out from the, before she left. Till now, you would have paid her before she left.
Yeah, how much is that?
Go ahead, Cattle.
You suck.
You're the one. You should be keeping up your timesheets.
You paid her up over there, so... getting from there to there is 1 day-ish. So hold on, that's 1, 2, where are you? 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 2 days to get there. You guys actually spent on the planet. How many days did you spend on the planet? 2 days, right? So it's 4 days. And then you stayed on the asteroid for a week. So that's 11 days, and then an additional day. Like searching through the hull of the ship, and sorry, let's call it 2 days for scavenging the hull of the ship and everything. So that's 13 days, plus to get back to the Citadel from there would have been an additional 2 weeks, because, your ship's not good enough to make that huge jump, and you fell out. So what did I say, 13, let's call that 27 days.
Okay.
You spent all that money. All right, while you're subtracting all that monies, you make your way to the...
Did we talk to the Blue Suns before we leave?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You make your way over to grab the information from the Blue Suns. Rick, how are you going to go about this? Like, who are you going to ask? Are you going to try to... discretion is everything. But because of that, are you trying to be extremely discreet and so therefore higher DC, or less discreet and so therefore lower DC?
I will try to be very discreet,
Sure.
if possible.
Roll me your talk charisma check. Is anybody
I would
assisting?
like to be your bodyguard here, and maybe a little bit of talk. Yeah, so give him the +1.
Okay, you give him the +1. Rick, are you going to add anything to that? You have 3 in your pool. Oh wait, you already have.
Now, I mean, I've got the 3d6 already.
Okay. You can technically roll 46 if you add one from the pool, but 3d6 is fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. We've got 3.
Okay,
you know
good.
what? Fine.
Give
So
us a
that
good
is-
job, Cattle.
Let me just check.
I don't want to be hauling porta potties to Omega.
So were you adding a +1 for being bodyguard or whatever? Or?
Yeah. Give me
Yes. I'm being eye candy. That's literally why I haven't passed to talk.
Oh wow, you actually did use the cool. So that worked out in your favor.
Hey.
I
It really did, actually.
A 13, which is amazing. So with your 13 on the check, you are able to be extremely discreet and still find out a bunch of information about what's going on. So what is going on? What happened with this this Volus? Why are they here? Well, you already knew that there was the Batarian that was in charge beforehand, running the Blue Suns on the Citadel. Well, apparently, that Batarian, while he was in the middle of a deal with somebody else was inside one of like the lower, crappier pubs that were down there, and there was an explosive underneath the table that he was sitting at to have his deal with. It went off and it killed everybody sitting around the table and a few peoples that were nearby. Everybody was dead. There was zero video evidence that you're going to be able to get your hands on. Well,
Of course.
that's not entirely true. There is somebody that supposedly has a bit of video evidence that they're willing to part with for the right price of what happened at that time. But what is rumored is that what actually went into the place afterwards were a bunch of humans had actually raided the bar afterwards. But there was all sorts of smoke canisters and stuff like that that were thrown in there that made it so it was really, really difficult to see anything. So most of the video footage you were able to get your hands on with your check was just smoke in the way. You weren't able to discover any information of who went in there. You just saw some movements going on. You heard some gunfire, saw some flashes of gunfire, but zero information was able to be procured. Literally later that same day, there was a Volus who was shoring up some of the details with the Blue Suns organization. And by shoring them up, more or less, like, a lot of the other meetings that were meant to happen were, like, canceled. Just, like, completely canceled. As a matter of fact, man, with a check of 13, you discover only really one big meeting. Like, a couple of little ones here and there, but only one big meeting was had after that happened, which was only a few days before you guys arrived onto the Citadel. That one big meeting was yours.
Wait, so you're saying that our meeting happened before we... Sorry, I'm just taking notes and getting lost a little bit.
When the leader of the Blue Suns died,
Yeah?
and the Volus took over, almost all meetings and whatnot, almost all dealings of the Blue Suns were canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Yours was the biggest of the remaining meetings that wasn't canceled. There's like a handful of meetings that were played out. Yours is the big one that wasn't canceled. There were other like really big deals that could have gone down but just didn't. And these meetings that I'm referring to that could have gone down are rumors. Some of them are being as completely believable as having to squeeze on a local political figure and making sure that they get their regular payments from that person to not leak information, to something as ridiculous as they have genetically engineered, what are they called? The dog creatures that we just talked about earlier in the session.
Forcha?
No, the dog creatures. Frank, help me out here.
Varen.
Varen. There you go. I said Varum.
Sorry, you put me on the spot.
So like genetically engineered Varen that are extremely intelligent and are actually pulling the strings of all of this stuff, and you know they found a weapon to kill them, like things that are all over the map because you're just trying to get information from the ground up.
War beasts.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's what you are able to procure.
Okay. I would,
So we
Without
didn't get
it.
a meeting?
Oh, you can easily get a meeting. Meeting with that Volus. You send a message.
Just a meeting with the Blue Suns.
Oh, you can get a meeting with one of the Blue Suns.
Isn't that what we were trying to do?
Not with the Volus. He said he was trying to procure information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I was just getting feelers and, like,
Yeah.
getting the behind-the-scenes stuff, like,
I
figured out a
like the
little bit.
behind-the-scenes stuff. It was tasty. I was just...
Yep. So
I'm
you
very
can get a
confused
meeting with the
right now.
Volus. Sorry, not the Volus. The
I
Blue
will-
Suns,
I
no
would-
problem.
I would meet with the Volus.
No, you cannot get a. Let me be clear because I've misspoken 3 times now. Meet Volus? No, can't reach him. Does not respond. Doesn't exist effectively. Yes,
I
Blue
misspoke
Suns.
the
You can
verb.
meet with somebody from the Blue Suns.
I don't
Okay,
give a fuck.
we'll meet with the Blue Suns then.